Good morning, children. Let us continue with Shivaji's kingdom, how it was and how it was ruled, everything. Now let us say about the political administration. So Shivaji had an efficient system of administration. The land was divided into two categories. He was very much efficient in Maratha rulers. So the land was divided into two categories. The land under direct Maratha rule. Under direct Maratha rule was known as Swarajya. Directly Marathas were ruling. Under them, the people were there, and that was called as Swarajya. And the land not directly under the Maratha rule of the Swarajya, and the land not directly under the Maratha rule was known as Mughalai. Direct means Swarajya, indirect was Mughalai. Shivaji was the supreme head of the Swarajya under Maratha, direct Maratha. Under Swarajya lands, he was assisted by a council of 8 ministers. Under Swarajya, he had a council of 8 ministers known as Ashtapradhans. Ashta means 8. Pradhans means great people. So here, because they were in higher post, they were called as Ashtapradhans. Pradhan, giving importance. So 8 ministers. Peshwa or the Prime Minister was the head of the Ashtapradhans. So when Shivaji was not under control of this, under rule of his Maratha kingdom, who took care? The Prime Minister called the Peshwas. They took care, but they never cheated these Marathas. They were ruling it very, very faithful, isn't it? So now let us see what happened here. This Peshwa or the Prime Minister was the head of the Ashtapradhans. These 8 members, who had to head them? That was done by the Peshwa or the Prime Minister. So other ministers included army, household affairs, means domestic affairs, foreign affairs, charitable grants, means giving grants for some social service. Charitable means for some social service. Justice and correspondence. All these were taken care of this Peshwas and the other ministers. The empire was divided into 4 prants. The whole empire, the whole kingdom was divided into 4 prants or provinces. Prants or provinces. Each province was divided into several paraganas. So every province was divided into several paraganas. Each paragana consisted of several villages. So how they divided, so that it will be easy for them to rule the kingdom. So first was what provinces were there? 4 provinces were there, and these 4 provinces were further divided into paraganas, and every paragana had so many villages, and the village headman, for every village there was a headman, and that headman was known as Patel. Patel. So land revenue. Shivaji divided his kingdom into 2 parts. Swarajya was under the direct control of Marathas, already learned that. The landowner paid 2/5 of his annual produce as tax. So what happened? Whoever owned the land, 2/5 of his annual produce, whatever he is doing, whatever he is producing, out of that 2/5 he has to give to the king as a tax. Chaut and Sardesh Mukhi were taxes levied on Mughalai. Mughalai means those who are not under the control of, not under the rule of Marathas directly. That was called as Mughalai, isn't it? So here what happened? The landowner paid 2/5 of his annual produces as tax. But see, Chaut and Sardesh Mukhi were taxes levied on Mughalai or dependent territories. They were depending on Marathas. So they had to give how many? Chaut. Chaut means 1/4. And Sardesh Mukhi were taxes levied on Mughalai or dependent territories. Chaut was equal to 1/4 of the land revenue. 1/4 of the land revenue. Here they were giving 2/5, Here they had to give 1/5 of the land revenue. And Sardesh Mukhi was fixed at 1/10 of the income. Sardesh Mukhi was 1/10. Both these taxes were levied in return for protection given by the Marathas against any attacks by others. So all these were given. If anybody comes and attacks, they have to give like what we call it as a tax. Understood? Now, army or the military system. The organization of the army under Shivaji was remarkable and well known for its discipline, mobility and speed. So it is very well disciplined under Chhatrapati Shivaji. It comprised of 1 lakh cavalry. So what is cavalry? The soldiers, horse soldiers. So horses to be taken care of, that horse soldiers were called as cavalries. And then 1 lakh infantry. Infantry means what? Land soldiers. Those are on the ground, directly on the ground. Some are on the horses, some are on directly on the land. So the land soldiers were called as infantry. And artillery. Artillery means the weapons, military weapons. Artillery. So like this you see, it comprises of 1 lakh cavalry, 1 lakh infantry, artillery, 300 elephants and 400 strong navy. So everybody, navy means through sea. The cavalry was graded as troopers. Cavalry. Already I told you, the horse soldiers were graded as troopers. Havildar, Jumaldar, Jumladar Hazari and Sari Naubat. The infantry was divided into regiments, brigades and divisions. So both Hindus and Muslims were recruited in the army without any distinction. So they never differentiated, oh, you are belonging to Maratha, you are belonging to Hindus, nothing like that. Everybody were given equal chance. Those soldiers who showed bravery were rewarded, and those who fought very bravely, they were always rewarded. So what happens? That is a type of inspiration, isn't it? So others also will come up. Forts played a very important part in the military organization. So forts, they have these forts in a Kotegalu. Why? Because directly the enemies should not enter to the king, to the palace. For that there will be forts. So there were about 250 forts. See, not one or two. There were 250 forts. Shivaji also maintained an effective navy that was used for carrying on trade with the Persian Gulf. Through ship it has to go now. Business has to be taken place through ship into foreign countries. So he also was very great in all those things. See, Shivaji also maintained an effective navy that was used for carrying on trade with the Persian Gulf. They plundered and sacked Mughal ships in the Arabian Sea. What they do? What they used to do? If they see any Mughal ships, they used to go and conquer it. They used to plunder and then they used to catch hold of that. So they plundered and sacked Mughal ships in the Arabian Sea. Religious policy. Shivaji was a devout Hindu and a disciple of Guru Ramdas. He treated Muslims and their women with great respect. So they were Muslims also. What happened? Though he is Maratha, he used to give more respect to Muslim ladies especially. He respected people of all religions and employed people from all sections of society. He never gave importance only to Marathas. He gave importance to everybody from all religions. During raids, soldiers were given instruction not to harm any place of worship and women. See, during wars and all, he used to say, no, you should not trouble the women and you should not trouble any places of worship. Maybe it is church or mosque or temple, whatever it is, you should not disturb that. You should not destroy that. Okay. This tolerant religious policy of Shivaji was one of the factors responsible for the rise of the Marathas, because he was giving importance in equality to everybody. No? He was loved by everybody, and that is why he has become very famous. So he was one of the greatest ruler of Maratha kingdom. So this is, you can see, Pratapgarh. Pratapgarh, one of the Marathas place here. Okay. So let me stop it here. We will continue in the next class. Thank you.